Bottom.
Right. So I put here that the reason why I actually present this,
Don't read. Read from your screen. Read from your screen. The screen is there for you to read.
Alright. I've included here, this is an introduction to the slides that I have prepared. This is actually our incident report. The background of it is that we had some issues over the dates of 10, 11 and 12 November of this year, right? And then of this year, and the banks were querying us on the reasons that it had happened, right? And the solutions. So we had chosen to prepare a formal report so that
we have decided
to prepare a formal report for bank to take action on. And I'm going through the report. I'm going through the details of the report so that we can make the decision. Okay. On the first
screen.
Sorry. This is a summary of the incident that had happened, right? Usually I go to the board.
Huh?
Usually I go to the board. Right? Correct?
No.
We just love to go to the board.
So I go like this.
You can point if you want to. You can point if you want to. If you want to read, you just read from the screen so that you can make eye contact with the audience.
Oh.
Otherwise, if you read from the projection, no eye contact.
I see.
See?
Can you make this bigger?
I don't know. It's your slide. So that means your if you cannot read your own slide, meaning it's too small.
Oh, because we normally read from...
Yeah, I usually read from me. Okay, anyway. Which is the pointer?
The top button.
Alright. So, I cannot do two things.
The top button.
I know, but I'm reading from there.
Okay, so read.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have presented here the overview and essentially the summary of the incident. I put in all the descriptions of the incident, right? I put in the description of the incidents and the impact, and we have also following our investigation. I put in the root cause so that we can we are sure of the sorry. I put here the description of the incidents and the impact of it, the root causes as well as the rectification that we are supposed to implement.
Right. First, let me describe the incident.
First, let me describe incident number 1.
Okay, describe.
First, let me describe incident number 1. On the 10th of November, we had cases where the IBG report.
Just explain in simple terms. You don't need to read.
This was long.
There is an error in the IBG report. Simple like that. On that day,
there was an error in the IBG report, and then the report was eventually not produced. Right. The impact is that the impact is that the system was subsequently delayed. And it was not brought up altogether because of the report. The root cause is because of inefficient SQL command that resulted in the inefficient SQL command that resulted in the long delay. The rectification that we are proposing is to implement the fixes for the SQL statement so that it is more efficient. Okay. Moving on to the second case. The second case happened 2 days after this. There were two incidents on this day.
You need to specify whether they are related or not related, unrelated.
We have a related incident.
Related incident.
It's actually on the same system that happened 2 days later. On this particular day, two actual separate incidents happened. The description of the first incident on the 12th. The Ewart IBG processing encountered timeout error. So from the impact is that all the transactions all the transactions were not processed at all. When we investigated, we find that the client track programs for the two processes that I have mentioned, when we investigated, we find that the client track for these two processes were not running on the Tradeswift functions. So we have put in the fixes, and the target date to implement the fixes is on the first week of December, which is 2 weeks